Hello, my name is Timothy Gates. This is my first video. I have a degree in networking and a bachelor's degree in applied computing. At present I am studying for my CCNA and CCNA security certifications. What I'm going to be doing today is configuring this topology. We have a DHCP server that is connected to a DHCP relay agent. We have 3 hosts that are DHCP clients. Before I start the initial configuration, I'm going to try and show you how the DHCP process actually works. Let's assume that this is a server on the network. So we'll just change that to a server icon. And for now, just assume that anything from here doesn't exist. When the device connects to the network, it sends out a DHCP discover message. This message is a broadcast, so it is sent to the all-else address. When it arrives at the switch will forward a broadcast out to all ports except the port that it arrived on. So all devices will receive a copy of this broadcast. Only the intended recipient of the broadcast will reply. So the server will reply with a DHCP offer. This is an offer of an IP address. The host will then reply to this offer with a DHCP request. Again, this is a broadcast, so this is sent to the all-else address. So again, all devices will receive a copy of this broadcast. Finally, the server will send a DHCP acknowledge message back to the host, and the DHCP process is complete. This is known as the DORA process: discover, offer, request, acknowledgement. Only 2 of these messages are actually broadcast, that is D and R, which is discover it and request. The easy way to remember that is DR or Doctor Who. Who is the broadcast going to? We don't know until, let me rephrase that. The switch doesn't know who to send it to, so it sends it to all ports, and only the intended recipient will reply. Now, just let me clean these labels up a bit. Now let's assume that the DHCP server is not on our local network. So now we just have the 3 hosts. The DHCP server resides over on this network, on the 192.168.1.0 network. So let's analyse the DORA process again. Just move these out of the way. So first off, the DHCP discover message is sent, again broadcast, so it's sent out all ports except the port it arrived in on. This time though, when the DHCP discover message arrives at the router, routers do not forward broadcasts, so it is destroyed and never gets past the router. This is where we have to train the router to forward the broadcast on to the next op. This is where this command comes in. This is the DHCP helper address. So what would happen is the discover message would arrive at the switch, sent out all ports. It would arrive at the router. The router is configured with the IP address 10.1.1.1, which is here. The IP helper address is 192.168.1.2. This means that the interface would essentially, once it receives the DHCP discover message, it would transfer it into a unicast message and send it on to the DHCP server. The DHCP server's address is 192.168.1.2. The DHCP server would reply with a DHCP offer. The router would then relay this back on to the host. The host would send a DHCP request, again broadcast, so it's sent out all ports except the one it arrived in on. It is sent from the router to the DHCP server as a unicast. The final stage is the server sends back an acknowledgement message which is relayed by the router on to the host. And that is essentially how the DHCP process works when the DHCP server is in another network. So in the next video I will set about configuring this. So thank you for watching.